Today we will be talking about 50D and 66E.
Okay, so we're starting off with this molecular equation, and we're going to write the complete ionic equation, which you just split up everything that can be dissociated. So first with cobalt, it's a solid, so you keep it the same. And then 2HCl gets split up into 2H plus aqueous plus 2Cl minus aqueous. And then that goes to cobalt 2 plus aqueous plus 2Cl minus aqueous plus H2 gas. Then the spectator ions are everything that stays the same, and the only thing that stays the same in this equation is chlorine. The other two things, the charges change and the states change. So if you put 2 chlorine negative here, you get rid of that, and then you write your net ionic equation, which will be cobalt plus 2H plus cobalt 2 plus hydrogen gas. And that's it.
For the formula, Cu plus AgNO3, it will give you CuNO3 and Ag. The first step that we need to do in this equation is balance the formula. And since we have 2 nitrates on this side, we need to have 2 nitrates on this side. Now that we have balanced our nitrates, we now see that our silvers are not balanced. So in order to balance our silvers, we add a 2 to this side. Now that completes the molecular equation, and for the complete ionic equation, we need to separate what can be dissociated in the formula. Now since Cu is a solid, it is broken down as small as it can be since it is a solid, and it has a +1 charge. Now for silver nitrate, it is aqueous, so we can dissociate it, which means that we're going to separate the ions. And we know that Ag has a +1 charge because it is balanced out with nitrate. And we carry down this 2 because it is the coefficient of the compound. And they are both aqueous. Now, on the other side, CuNO3 is aqueous, so we're going to dissociate it, which means we're going to split it apart. So we know that Cu is on this side, but we also know that now it has a +2 charge because when we crossed the charges, nitrate resulted with 2 ions, so it'd be 2 plus. It is aqueous. We also have nitrate, and since there are 2 here, its coefficient will be 2 NO3 1 minus. It's also aqueous. Now for silver, since it is a solid, we will just write it as it is because it is broken down as small as it can be, and it has a 1 plus charge. Now for net ionic, this is when we take everything except the spectator ions and add it to the equation. So in this case, it would be Cus because it is a solid, Ag because it transforms to a solid on this side, and we would keep the Cu on this side because they are switching. So our net ionic equation would be Cu 1 plus Now in the case of our spectator ions, this is the ion that does not change throughout the equation and is either a strong acid or a ionic compound. So in this case it is NO3. Because it is aqueous, it stays the same throughout the formula. And this is how you solve this particular equation.